So today I have with me the CEO, the founder, and the creative behind Logic Republic, Mr. Logic himself. So, Mr. Logic, let me start off with the many questions that I have. Why do you believe that humanity will go into extinction? And how is Logic Republic changing that narrative?
Okay, so in Logic Republic, we don't like to believe.
Hmm.
So we like to know whatever we can know, we try to know. And if we cannot know, then we rest. Humanity may press the extinction button very soon if certain transformational social tools are not created. If you look at the human history, if you look at greed, the unending greed, you see that man is always tilting towards gathering, towards numbers, towards profit, right?
Mm.
And meaning is lost. The recent human life is characterized with unending chase for numbers. And because of the numbers, it's just like an algorithm that's pushing people to do whatever that they shouldn't be doing. So you see, everybody's looking at, okay, life meaning is lost. There's no fulfillment.
Mhm.
It's how do I get the next amount? How do I get the next money, the next credit, next alert, And
Mm.
once I get it, you come back to square one. You're feeling unfulfilled. You chase another one. And so when you see a life that is going that way, you see that, okay, people are already distant from the essence for their existence. And when you now have a greed that is uncontrollable, right? So what is going to end is that you begin to see humans create things or technologies that will end them. AI is one of them.
Mm.
With our current journey into artificial intelligence, very soon AI is going to reach what we call singularity, artificial singularity, whereby machines will begin to think that, okay, what's the essence of human being? What is the essence? What is their use? We can assemble ourselves to have a meeting, to begin to act on our own interest, right? So they can begin to not say, okay, this is what we want to do. This is our own mission. Let's do this. So at that point, once they say that there's no need for human, what will happen is you're going to have, artificial intelligence singularity, and the idea would be to end humanity. So in Logic Republic, we are convinced that AI is one of those things that will end humanity if it's not a redirection right now. It's not done. Greed will end humanity. We already have weapons to do that, and we are still making more. Right. So that's one. Then what we also call the lack of meaning, the detachment from essence, from our root, from our source. When everything that is detached from source ends along the line. So if you go to school, you came from a home, you went to school, and the idea is for you to go and educate yourself, then come back to source, come back to home where you left. If you go to school and you forget that you left somewhere, and you go into school, you join cults, right? You start fighting people, chasing girls. At the end of the day, in your cult activities, there's 99% that it's either you kill someone or someone is going to end you. Do you get that?
Mm.
Why? Because you are detached from the purpose for which you went to school for. That's where humanity is.
Okay. So how is Logic Republic changing this whole narrative?
Discovering all that we have discovered, we decided to create what we called a resilient infrastructure for sustainable, compassionate people development. It's an infrastructure that's been built over 30 years. We needed to study humanity and to see the patterns,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you could tell the end from the beginning if you are able to, if you have data, if you have patterns to read,
Mm.
so to check. And we discovered, okay, should we create a temporary infrastructure or should we create a lifetime infrastructure? So then we decided to create a lifetime infrastructure. And part of the goal for Logic Republic is that humanity is where humanity is today because we lost something along the line. So when you're traveling on a journey and your engine seems to be working, fast into the journey, you lose some nuts, you also lose your tire. What do you think will happen?
Mm.
So you can already project that it's going to be a calamitous end, right, for the journey. So even if you did arrive, you're going to arrive in chaos, right? So
Battery.
yeah, so that's why we created Logic Republic, and we discovered that let's create a resilient infrastructure, an infrastructure that will reroute humanity, and for that reason, there has to be compassion. So compassion is one of those vital currencies that is required for continuity. So compassion is the core part of Logic Republic. Man has to understand that ignorance is part of the design for man. However, but there's a window for knowledge. There's a window for wisdom, right? So we need to embrace wisdom, and we can only do that by embracing what we call divine understanding. Human came into being from divine intelligence. In divine intelligence, you have knowledge, you have energy, you have wisdom, you have consciousness, you have all those things, all the fundamentals, right? But we progress from that into human beings, because we are God in physical form. Physical form means that we have limitations. In our original form, which is the formless state, we have no limits. In this form, we have limits, right? So if we don't connect back to source, to embrace who we are, to live in abundance, to live in knowledge, to live in compassion, to live in all of this, right? Or what we call the vital currencies, then extinction is dead. And that's why we created Logic Republic. So Logic Republic is to return, to help humanity navigate all the challenges that we have into a future that is more predictable, or a future that is all about love, a future that is all about compassion, that is all about understanding. And also, part of what we are proposing with Logic Republic, that we have discovered that intelligence is universal, understanding is not. So every creature, everything that you can think about, plants, animals, human beings, they are all equally intelligent. But understanding is what they don't have.
So I see you have a couple of projects out, which I'm excited to also see. You have a book and you have a 3-in-1 album consisting of 3 songs. So can you give us an overview? What are we expecting from these projects that you have planned out?
Like I already said, Logic Republic is about 3 key things:
Yeah.
transformation, impact, and change. Now, to convey this transformation, impact, and change, we decided that we're going to have 2 vehicles. One of the vehicles we found deserving or worthy is the book. The goal for the book is to resolve all that man can't come in terms with, and man calls mystery. Because there's no mystery. But if you can't understand, you call it mystery. But for those who can understand at the deeper level, it's nothing, right? It's right there before them. So it's to shine light on all age-long phenomena, phenomena that man has been dealing with, and man cannot come in terms with, therefore, the fights and all of that. So it's to reorganize humanity through knowledge and an infrastructure. So the goal of the book principally is to resolve all what we call mystery. Then the music is just a social engineering vehicle to engage the people at the basic level that they are. So if you don't have time to read, at least you have something you can listen to. And if you're not inclined to music, you have something that you can peruse. That's why we did the book. So basically, that's the goal. So you have all natural phenomena, all talk about death, the concept of death, life, birth, God, suffering, why people suffer.
Yeah.
Why is it that people are unable to perform? Why are we here? Where do we come from? Where are we going to? Life after death. Where were you before you were born? Then you were born. Where are you going to? Everything that you can talk about, right? It's resolved in the book.
Thank you guys so much. I'm sure you've heard a very, very very good explanation what Logic Nation is set to do, what Logic Republic is about to do. And I can't wait to see how this unfolds in time. I can't wait to see how Logic Republic shapes humanity, because we need all the help we can get. We really do need all the help we can get. And we look forward to seeing more. Thank you so much for having us here, Mr. Logic.
Welcome.
And thank you guys so much for watching. And we look forward to the next episode. Thank you.